Today on the program, Toyota has just come up with the most delightfully absurd idea of the decade. An amazing fact about the longevity of Teslas has just been revealed. AI-powered speed cameras are coming to France, and it's going to hurt. And finally, BYD is about to destroy the competition with a car that has a completely incomprehensible name. The automotive industry has officially lost its mind. Toyota has just come up with the most delightfully absurd idea of the decade. The brand is preparing an electric car with a manual gearbox that stalls if you shift into the wrong gear. For decades, armies of engineers in white coats have sacrificed their nights, their weekends, and probably their mental health to make cars smoother, more fluid, and easier to drive. They invented 14-speed automatic gearboxes, hill start assist systems, and anti-sticking systems. All that so that today, at Toyota and Lexus, someone stands up in a meeting and says, you know what our silent, perfect electric cars are missing? The anxiety of stalling at a red light in front of a crowded terrace? It's absolutely brilliantly stupid. The concept is simple. You're in an electric car, there's no combustion engine, no cylinders, no real mechanical clutch. But Toyota has filed patents to install a fake H-pattern gear lever and a fake clutch pedal. Everything is managed by software. If you release the virtual clutch a bit too quickly without giving enough virtual gas, then the computer, in its infinite binary cruelty, decides to instantly cut the electric motor's torque and apply the brakes to simulate stalling. The car comes to a sudden jerky stop. But Toyota doesn't stop there. The recently unearthed patent reveals that the car will judge your skills. It will evaluate you. If you drive poorly, the assistance will help you, like a caring nanny. But if you think you're Ayrton Senna, it will let you handle things on your own. Even worse, if you stall on a hill, the car will roll back a few centimeters before the assistance kicks in, just to give you that cold sweat typical of hill starts. They even plan to simulate jolts if you shift into fourth instead of second, for example. So why do they do that? Well, because with electric cars, linear acceleration is fun for 5 minutes, then you get bored. By reintroducing human error, by bringing back difficulty, Toyota wants to give us back the thrill of mastery. Of course, this raises some hilarious questions. The chief engineer at Lexus himself wonders what the authorities will say. If you have an automatic-only license, are you allowed to drive a fake manual that can virtually stall? It's a delightful legal puzzle. So do you think this feature will ever make it into our cars? Let me know what you think in the comments. Next, a recent study has just caused a huge stir in the auto industry. A surprising fact about the longevity and reliability of Teslas has just been revealed. The study conducted by analysts at IC Cars on more than 174 million vehicles aimed to find out which car was most likely to reach 400,000 kilometers. Unsurprisingly, Toyota tops the ranking, with Lexus and Honda following closely behind. But right behind these monuments of Japanese reliability, there's the surprise guest who crashes the party and empties the buffet, Tesla. Even better, Elon Musk's brand easily outperforms historic names we thought were untouchable. Subaru behind, Mazda behind. And let's not even mention the European luxury brands, BMW, Audi, Porsche. According to this study, their chances of reaching that mileage are close to absolute zero. As for Land Rover and Jaguar, let's just say they're more likely to break down before you've even finished signing the check. It's a real slap in the face for all the electric car critics who spend their days on the internet yelling that the batteries will explode after 3 years. The reality is that an electric car, no matter how complex it is in terms of software, is mechanically very simple. You remove thousands of moving parts and like magic, the car breaks down less often. It's not only about abstract statistics. Recently, a British driver's story made global headlines. The man drove more than 700,000 kilometers with his Tesla Model S P90D, and the craziest part is, he did it with the original battery. After all that distance, the battery only lost 23% of its original capacity. Of course, not everything is perfect. Replacing a battery still costs an arm and a leg, and the study mainly focuses on the Model S, which has had time to prove itself, unlike the Cybertruck, for example, which seems like it was designed by a 5-year-old with a ruler and a hammer. But the fact remains undeniable. Teslas are not just disposable gadgets. They're proving that they can rack up the miles with the same veracity as a good old diesel sedan, minus the smell and the noise. Next, forget about those gray boxes on the side of the road that flash you just for going 2 km/h over the limit. That's prehistoric AI-powered speed cameras are coming to France, and it's going to be rough. In neighboring Spain, the future is already here. They're currently deploying a diabolical machine called the laser bike. Forget about radio waves or the old-fashioned simple laser beam. This device uses 3D LiDAR. Simply put, it scans its surroundings in 3 dimensions, 360 degrees. It no longer sees just a simple moving metallic point. It models an entire volume. It knows if you're a car, a truck, or a motorcycle, and because it's intelligent, it instantly applies the correct speed limit according to your category. The device has a range of 200 meters, and as a researcher from Madrid rightly says, when you see them, it's already too late. And to top it all off, this technological monster can record up to 3 violations per second. But the worst is yet to come. Speed is for amateurs. What really interests manufacturers today is behavioral analysis. And believe it or not, it's our French manufacturers who are at the forefront of this terrifying technology. Companies like IDEMIA or Parafex have already developed gems like the Mesta Fusion 2. These speed cameras no longer just check your speed. They look inside your car. They see if you're not wearing your seatbelt. They see if you're holding your phone. They calculate whether you're keeping a safe distance, and they detect if you're making sudden lane changes. So should we panic right away? Yes and no. The French legal framework is already in place. The law already allows for the automatic detection of 15 offenses, including phone use and seatbelt violations. The government has even allocated more than 46 million euros to modernize our equipment by 2030, with a current call for tenders to roll out these intrusive technologies. But road safety authorities have recently had to tone things down. As of today, none of these speed cameras are officially approved in France yet to automatically fine for phone use or seatbelt violations. The technology is there, ready to go, the laws are written, but the administrative and political green light is still pending. However, don't get too excited. This isn't a cancellation, it's just a reprieve. The industrialists are pushing, the budgets are being approved, and soon we will all be watched, analyzed, and judged by a 3-dimensional glass eye, merciless and flawless. So smile, artificial intelligence can now see you on the road. And finally, 1,040 kilometers of range, 1.4 liters per 100 kilometers, 212 horsepower, 23,000 euros. Here is the BYD Dolphin GDMI.
Voici la BYD Dolphin.
And behind this name, which sounds like a randomly generated Wi-Fi password, is a car that's going to make a big impact. It's a plug-in hybrid that's 4.16 meters long and 1.82 meters wide. So it fits right in the heart of the B segment, the most competitive arena in the European market, where the Renault Clio and Peugeot 208 are fighting it out. And it arrives with an absolutely astonishing starting price, 23,990 euros to be exact. Under the hood, the setup is clever. A 1.5-liter gasoline engine with 95 horsepower is paired with a 163 horsepower electric motor, but the gasoline engine mainly serves as a generator to recharge the battery, not as the main drive unit. Now be careful because this starting price hides a little catch. The base version, called Active, comes with a small 7.4 kilowatt-hour battery. That gives you about 40 kilometers in full electric mode, a combined power of 175 horsepower, and a claimed consumption of 1.4 liters per 100 kilometers. It looks great on paper, but that 1.4 liters assumes you start with a full battery and drive mostly in the city. Once the battery's empty, consumption goes back up to around 4.5 liters per 100 kilometers, and there's no DC fast charging. But the real bargain, the one that's going to give the competition cold sweats, is the Boost version at 26,990 euros. For 3,000 euros more, you move into another league. The battery jumps to 18.3 kilowatt hours. The claimed electric range jumps to 105 kilometers, and the combined power reaches 212 horsepower. And above all, You get access to fast charging with direct current at 39 kW from 10 to 80% in 26 minutes. The total range with a full battery and a full 42-liter tank exceeds 1,000 kilometers. The trunk, which is often sacrificed for the battery in this type of car, offers a decent volume of 425 liters. That's almost as much as a Renault Megane electric, even though it's bigger. In terms of equipment, even the base version comes with adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, a rear-view camera, and 2 screens. The Boost adds heated seats, a large 12.8-inch screen wireless charging, and V2L, which allows you to power external devices from the car. The Comfort takes it up another notch with a panoramic roof, 360-degree camera integrated Google services, and BYD covers all of this with a 6-year warranty on the car and 8 years on the battery. So yes, the Dolphin GDMI may not be the most exciting car to drive or even to look at, but at this price, with this equipment, this technology, and this range, it's simply an unbeatable offer in its segment. The wolf is in the sheepfold, and the wolf is very hungry. And a quick reminder before the end, your car insurance might be costing you too much. And what's surprising is that more than 1 out of 2 drivers never compare, even though you could save up to 480 euros a year with our free comparison tool. It takes 2 minutes to find the best offers. It's obviously free and with no obligation, and you could save up to 40 euros a month. So try our car insurance comparison tool. The link is in the description or in the pinned comment. Thank you all for watching this new video. Feel free to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to make sure you don't miss anything. Bye, and thank you all for watching this new video. Feel free to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to make sure you don't miss anything. Bye.